Hey everybody, it's the author Andrew Snorton, and you're joining me for the Fast 15. As we typically do, we take a few moments, usually about 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to kind of pause, check up, check in, enjoy an encouraging note from any of the books or audiobooks, close out with a few announcements, and get you on your way. As we're all aware, sometimes when life happens, you can't wait until the next day or later in the day or what have you. So sometimes you might need that pick-me-up earlier. So hopefully this provides that for you, as it does for me as well. To stay connected with me, the easiest way, you can see right here on the signage, but just to make it simple, if you go to Linktr.ee, linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton. When you go on Linktree, that way you can look at the newsletter, which comes out once every 2 weeks, all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, the archival editions of the Conversation Corner on the Status Network, the information on our coffee collaboration with Fonte's Coffee, the Author Andrew Snorton Blend, and more. And of course, a lot of people use Instagram, so make sure to check me out on the gram at AuthorASnorton. So those are going to be the easiest ways to stay connected with me. So before we pull a selection from our book from the day, as I always note, guys, people are coming here watching this or scanning through it and going through some positives and some negatives. So, if you're going through a challenging time right now, maybe there's a health-related issue, there's a financial issue, relationships, things along those lines. Like I'll tell anybody, you have every right to feel some kind of way, because we are, hey, we're human. We go through the range of emotions, but make sure you don't stay stuck there, especially when it's, something negative, because the longer you stay stuck, the longer it takes you to get out of it, and it can filter into other areas. So like I've always said before, and I'll say again, if whatever you're going through requires any type of professional attention, get the professional help you need. If it's more informal, where you just have to pause, take inventory, change how you move, change who you move with, make sure to take inventory on all those items. So for anyone that's going through some type of challenge, definitely keeping you uplifted and encouraged in getting through it, because we need you around. Trust me. Don't believe the false hype. There are people who really do sincerely need you around. On the flip side, some people are going through some really positive things. Relationships are going well. Business, community, all those types of things are definitely things are on a high note. We want you to celebrate those high water moments, because you know what you had to work through in order to get there. Celebrate, but celebrate responsibly, because we need you around. And let's not forget others who might be going through something. So I always try to acknowledge people who are doing well and people who might not be doing so well. Today's selection is going to come from, yes, surprise, surprise, quotes and notes, Something's on the Horizon, as these are all original quotes with the exception of one that I borrowed from my grandmother. These are things that have helped me, and hopefully they'll help somebody else, but it's more than just the deep thought. It's more about getting a logic and rationale behind the why, and then giving you space to journal whether you agree, you disagree, you want to go in a deeper direction, you want to go in a different direction. What you put in your head eventually is going to show up in your thoughts, words, and actions. So you got to be real careful and cognizant of what we do. So here's today's quote that I think is something that will help just about any time, and I'll read as follows. You don't have to be perfect, but if you can get it as close to right as possible. You don't have to be perfect, but if you can get it as close to right as possible. Now, I know there's some instances where you just definitely have to be on point, but one of the reasons I like that quote is it allows us a little bit of latitude in making livable mistakes. So livable mistakes to me are when you've done your research, you've done your homework, you try to get it, as accurate as possible. Something unanticipated happens, or things just fall short. And if you're falling short due to effort, people can deal with that. But if you're falling short due to neglect or disrespect or things along those lines, that's something that a lot of people can't stand. So I'm saying all that to say all of us are going to make mistakes, but if we're making mistakes due to trying to get it right, like we're trying to get a better grade, we're trying to watch our tone when we engage with people, we're trying to just improve on our jobs and just get better at what we do, to be better people so we can be a better resource to our families, friends, loved ones, communities. If you're trying to get it as right as possible, Those are things that I think most people can deal with, and those are things that you can deal with so you're not overly critical of yourself. And by the same token, you kind of take people's criticisms accordingly. So again, to recap the quote, you don't have to be perfect, but if you can get it as close to right as possible. So let's try to get as close to right as possible as best as we can. So that's the thought of the day from Quotes and Notes. Something's on the horizon. So a couple of real quick announcements as we're getting ready to keep it moving. Tomorrow, March the 14th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me on the podcast Life with Shanita. You can look at it on most of your favorite social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and what have you. I'll be the co-host for tomorrow's show. So thanks to Dr. Shanita for having me on. Since it's Women's History Month, we've got some extraordinary women who are doing extraordinary things across their professions, community, and more. So you want to make sure to check it out. I'm looking forward to being the co-host. It's always good to be able to do that. Other events, March 21st from 4:30 to 6:45 p.m., Conyers, Georgia, the Conyers Mini Mall. Join me for my next pop-up. It will be at Tree of Knowledge Bookstore, owned by Dr. Henry Carter. So after work, before you go to dinner, pop up and pop out at the Conyers Mini Mall, the bookstore Tree of Knowledge, and that will be March 21st from 4:30 to 6:45 p.m. The venue closes at 7, so we're just going to do a quick 2-hour pop-up. There's some other great things on the horizon. Shouts to our friends at Majority Greek. March 23rd, I want to say the start time's at 6:30. They are doing the second Pearly Awards, which is recognizing members of our Divine Nine, which are our Black fraternities and sororities. So I'll be a presenter for that. I was the 1906 recipient when they did it in December 2022. So excited to be a part of that. So make sure to check them out at Majority Greek on your favorite social media platforms. And I'll just say, in regards to other moving parts, just stay posted, obviously, on the social media. But if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, make sure you can email me at AuthorASnorton@gmail.com. Inbox me just your preferred email. And once again, we just do it twice a month. So you get stuff on a regular basis, but you're not getting bombarded by it. Make sure to subscribe to stuff. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can catch this and other great stuff that's taking place, from book signings, authors talks, things along those lines. So we'll have more things coming up. Shouts to our friends at Fonte's Coffee for a great collaboration on the AuthorASnorton blend. We have the light roast, the medium, the decaf. We did a limited run of the bourbon infused, but we'll have some announcements coming up real soon regarding bringing back the bourbon and a few other ones. So we're definitely excited for that. And to every reader, bookstore, book club, special event, and more, hey, I appreciate everybody lending support. Since February 2017, 4 published books, an audiobook series, so I'm thankful to each and every one of you. So as we get ready to wind down for this one, as we've got a number of moving parts, remember, midday, sometimes you need that pause and pick me up. Because you might not be able to wait till the end of the day or the beginning of the next day. And of course, stay tuned, stay connected, things along those lines. Stay encouraged. I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but please stay encouraged throughout it all. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to go ahead and bounce. But until next time, all of you take good care. Whether slow or swift, movement is movement. Whether small or big, a victory is a victory. So keep it moving. Keep it victorious. I know I flip-flop sometimes, but you know what I'm talking about. Keep it moving. Keep it victorious. Stay encouraged. I look forward to seeing you guys real soon. Take care.